Now more than ever before, we have a wide variety of ships available to us. Of course, there have been significant releases over the years, but if I would take a look back roughly 6 years or so, there were few very distinctive ships, few very fan favorite ships. Not to say that there aren't today, but these days we are very likely to encounter almost all sorts of ships. There are five ships which I remember encountering most from those days. First one, of course, being the Drake Cutlass Black. Still very flexible and still very useful. Second and third being the Gladius and Arrow. Fourth being the Misk Freelancer. And fifth being the Hurricane. Quite remarkably, it just fell into the void, was forgotten and fell into the background behind most other heavy fighters which have been released over the years. And that's what some of the new ships can sometimes do. Of course, there will always be old ships which have been forgotten, which haven't been updated, and they have fallen into the background. We can bring out the Gladiator as an example here. If you want to talk about more modern forgotten ships, well, I haven't seen many Hull A's around, and I'm guessing most haven't. Or perhaps even Misk Starfarers. There was quite a lot of talk regarding them and their functions a while ago. There will of course always remain popular ships. Some of them may be pretty old like the Drake Cutlass Black, and others can be a bit newer like the Corsair or Spirit C1. My own hope is that at some point they plan to take a second look at some of these older ships. Like the Gladiator. I believe that ship was some crowdfunding milestone and it is probably one of the older ships. Not the oldest, I'm not sure which were the first ships, but pretty sure the first two main starter packs were among the first. So Mustang Alpha and the Aurora MR. It is interesting to think back what were the preferences of players, which ships have been forgotten and which have remained quite strong. Of course, we can always say that there weren't that many ships available, so most players may have preferred small ships. Small ships were capable of doing almost everything. Back in those days, we didn't really have that many missions available to us. We didn't have even the reputation system. And one of the more lucrative and simple missions to do, or ways to earn money, was to do ship bounties. Of course, you could do trade and other minor things as well, but you needed to make quite a lot of money, and the grind was pretty real back then. Of course, the more juicy and efficient ships will eventually survive and become most used. But it is sad in some cases to see ships that were popular at some point, or even big announced ships which were made, be forgotten for their poor performance at the role. But then again, this curve is bound to happen one way or another when you have this huge influx of ships and vehicles coming in every year. And of course, there are gonna be ships which will fall into the background, which will be forgotten. Not to say it is a good thing, but it shows the progress of ships, and at some point, if these older ships or forgotten ships can have another look taken at them, polished, improved, and brought up to the same level of equal class and style ships, perhaps we do have hope for them to be useful at their role or performing a wider variety of tasks. But anyway, I've been going on long enough. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.